Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Azi here. Welcome to the More Than a Pretty Face podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Azi, a board-certified dermatologist, and I am back on the More Than a Pretty Face podcast with Lacie, my right-hand girl, my nurse, who helps me out in the office and in life in general. Hey, Lacie, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Are you a little more energetic today?
I tried to finish.
You're almost done.
I almost made it.
I feel like I'm always so much more hyper than you are.
I didn't have my extra shot like usual.
Oh.
So,
You're slipping.
Yeah.
Did you see they have a Dunkin' Donuts open up here?
Yes, that's been the talk of the office.
Really?
Yes. The girls went this morning.
Oh, see, when the other day when you said, I'm going to go get breakfast, I thought you were going to go to Dunkin' Donuts.
No.
So you can't read my mind? All these years, I thought you'd be able to read my mind.
Well, also, I don't know that it was open just yet.
Oh, you can't see the big balloons and the pink sign as you drive past it. I've been watching it
as it's
trying to open.
Yes, yeah. It's been fun. It's the talk of the town.
Yeah, so we'll have to go there.
We lost a staple, Panickin, and gained a Dunkin' Donuts.
That's right. But I saw Panickin is going to be some other little cafe, Lily something.
Ooh.
It looks like.
I didn't see a sign yet, but.
Well, it's always exciting to see what is going on in our little La Jolla village.
Yes. So, what's new?
What's new? Well, it's so funny. I was talking to my sister earlier this morning, and she is in Vegas for a conference.
Fun.
And so she said she was walking through to go to her her meeting, and there was some sort of competition, dance competition, and this mom or one of the people from the competition comes running to her, and she's like, Dr. Azi, I am such a huge fan. I can't believe you're here. I'm here for this and that, and I was hoping, can we take a picture together? And she's like, I've been meaning to get in to see you, but I can't get in to see you, but I'm so glad I see you here. Aww. And my sister's like, no, you got the wrong person. No, but I follow you on Insta. I follow you. And I listen to all your podcasts.
This is you.
She's like, no, you've got the wrong person. No, it's not me. Yeah. So she goes. And then the next night she goes to a restaurant with a bunch of her coworkers. And so she goes to the hostess and, she sits down. And then as she sits down, the host's like, I just want to say, Dr. Azi, I'm such a huge fan. And she's like, and her coworkers are like, wait a minute. So who is this Dr. Azi person that you keep getting mistaken for? And she's like, that's my sister. And, she's all over the place online. And so she thought it was so funny that she was being mistaken for me. And I don't think we really look alike, but I guess our mannerisms and, we're sort of the same height, long, dark hair. So maybe, but anyway, I thought it was funny.
You must have posted about being around Vegas, so people probably saw that and also put the two and two together.
Possibly. And we have the same last name, so probably when she went to the restaurant, Shirazi, she probably just assumed. But anyway, so her, she's working with the startup company, so like, oh my gosh, yeah, do you think she could do some collaborations, make some videos for us? And she's like, no, we're finance. She's skincare. It's not the right audience.
I love that.
Yeah. So anyways, we got to do a better job though, getting people in the office. She said she couldn't get in.
You're busy.
Yeah.
I'll do better, you guys. I promise.
So I guess that's my beauty and blemish. So what you got going on over there, Miss Lacie?
We went downtown for Comic-Con this weekend.
Oh, Comic-Con.
Yes.
I've never been to Comic-Con.
I've never been inside the convention center. I would love to go, but it's just as fun walking downtown and sightseeing. And they always have pop-ups and different things going on. And we went to Petco's park. They had food trucks and live. It was their live interactive campus per se. And my husband was ecstatic to see Dwayne Johnson,
The Rock,
ooh, in this area talking to people. And he found like, he's such a dork. He found like this little thing to stand up on to like videotape and see him. And he made a joke, and Dwayne heard him, looked at him, and like laughed and commented to him. And that made our entire weekend.
Oh, like, isn't that cool?
His man crush noticed him, and it was such a big deal.
I love The Rock.
Fun. I was trying to get Remy close enough because I knew if he could just see my daughter, he'd just want to be like, oh my gosh, look at it. But it didn't happen. But that was super exciting.
How cool is that?
So Dwayne, if you ever want a facial or, come in,
come
skin
on in.
check,
If you're listening to this, Dwayne Johnson, is that his name, right? Dwayne Johnson, yes. The Rock.
Yes.
We're at your service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Diamond Glow. I think your skin could use it. I saw a few little rough patches over there.
Yep. In the picture I got. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So
that is so cool. I love that.
Well, what do you think about answering some DMs for this episode?
I love answering questions.
Yes. But before we get started, you guys don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast, and DM us at More Than a Pretty Face Podcast on Instagram.
All right. What you got for me, Lacie? Who's questioning?
You ready?
Yeah.
I have Julia Bird, and she wants to know, why are there various types of retinol? I'm just starting my retinol journey. I just turned 30 and I fell behind. And it's so confusing. I have seen retinol, palmitate, and few others. And why do they make it complicated? And girl, I feel you.
I know. It's such a great question. Honestly, I don't know how, as a consumer, you could keep everything straight because there's the marketing and like all this stuff. So that is a really great question. And first, before we dive into it, you are never too old to start. You did not miss the boat on anything in life. So don't ever think that. So let's talk about retinols in general. So when we say retinoids or retinol, it sort of refers to a category of ingredients that are derived from vitamin A. These are antioxidants. That's the way I like to think of them. And the most active form is retinoic acid, which is Retin-A, that's the brand name, or tretinoin, you may have heard of. That form is what binds to the skin receptor, the retinoic acid receptor, directly. So it is the most potent form because it doesn't have to convert to anything. It's already in its active form when you're putting it on the skin. And it binds to the receptor and works its magic. Yes. And so what all does it do for the skin? So many things. And we have more scientific evidence on retinoic acid than we have any other skincare ingredient. We just have so much proof that it works, that it's effective, and it's really a magical ingredient. For one, it just makes your skin renew through the layers more effectively. It helps improve texture. It protects the collagen from getting broken down. It stimulates collagen production. It boosts your skin circulation. It helps prevent the very first sign of acne formation, which is a clogged pore. So it doesn't allow your skin to clog. And so it helps with just brightening the skin. It helps with hyperpigmentation, so many things. I mean, I could go on and on and on. So it's a superstar and it's a potent ingredient. Now, if you have sensitive skin or you're concerned about, starting on tretinoin or Retin-A or retinoic acid, those are all interchangeable, then you can start on a derivative or a precursor of retinoic acid. And so I like to explain it like how I would explain caffeine. So retinol palmitate has to be converted actually has to undergo 3 conversion steps to make it to retinoic acid to finally bind to the receptor. So that's going to be the weakest form. So that's kind of like a green tea, the retinol palmitate, because it has to get converted to retinol, then retinol gets converted to retinol, which is retinaldehyde, and then retinaldehyde has to get converted to retinoic acid to be able to bind to the receptor.
Are you guys paying attention?
So let's do a visual. So if you've got retinol palmitate as the green tea, then you have retinol as never mind. Actually, I'm going to say retinol palmitate is the chamomile tea. So retinol palmitate, let's do chamomile tea. And then retinol is the green tea. And then retinaldehyde, which is retinal with an A, is the black tea or black coffee. And then retinoic acid is the espresso. That's the active form that binds to the receptor. So you can think of them that way. So if you want to go really, really weak, retinol palmitate. The most potent form is retinaldehyde that you can get without a prescription. And the reason that's the most potent over the counter is because it only undergoes one conversion step to turn into retinoic acid. Am I making sense?
Somebody's following along to this.
No, you're not.
I was going to say, and you did bring it up. I was going to say, well, what does that break down into over-the-counter medical grade and prescription?
Yeah, so the prescription is retinoic acid. That's the active form. That's tretinoin. So retinol, retinaldehyde, and retinol palmitate are all over the counter. So you don't need a prescription for those.
Got it.
And they're weaker because they have to convert to all the different retinoids to get to the active form, which is retinoic acid. And then if we're looking at prescriptions, you've got the tretinoin, and then you've got Tazorac, which is tazarotene. And then there's a new retinoid on the market, triacetypine, which is, I'm blanking on the brand name. Acleef is the new retinoid on the block. And so that is very specific for the gamma receptor, which is the most abundant retinoic acid receptor in the skin. It's like 90% of retinoic acid receptors are gamma receptors. So
yes.
I hope that made sense.
About skincare, you guys.
I hope that made sense. Oh, and we forgot differin. Differin is a different type of retinoid. It's better for acne, not as great for anti-aging. So it's not as good for like fine lines and wrinkles like the retinoic acid is.
More so just the acne
So that's
patients.
adapalene. Yeah.
Well, I hope that answered your question, Julia.
Yes.
Our next question is from R4T Boy, and he's asking if he can use a retinol as a 17-year-old male.
Well, I'm so impressed. Look how mature a 17-year-old male. Of course. It actually works great for preventing acne, reducing blackheads, whiteheads, and really just making your skin texture better.
Yes.
So I love it. I love it in teenagers.
Kudos to you for asking that and even being interested. I love that. Our next question is Allie. No, I'm going to say Alicia.
Okay.
Can you do laser hair removal while breastfeeding?
I mean, you can, but here's the thing, is your hormones are technically not back down to baseline. And particularly if you have dark skin, you're at risk of hyperpigmentation. So that's the only thing to be, aware of. It's not that it's dangerous to your breast milk or it's harmful, to the milk at all. It's because breastfeeding puts you at greater risk of pigmentation. And so that's one of the risks of laser hair removal. So as long as you understand that. But it's something you talk to your doctor about.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
Malachi wants to know, does CO2 laser help brighten the area between the inner thighs? And if it does not, then what is best?
Oh, no. I would
not even
never
imagine.
CO2 the inner thighs. CO2 is a powerful laser, and it's great at smoothing skin texture, treating acne scars, helping smooth the skin, tighten the skin. But I would probably not use it off the face because it has a high risk of complications, particularly in that area. The legs heal the slowest and the worst. I mean, we can laser your face all day long. You get phenomenal results. As soon as we go off the body, you're talking, you got to adjust the settings because your skin on the rest of the body does not heal like your face does. Your face heals beautifully. It's got the best circulation. It's got the most pores. That's where all your stem cells are, is inside the pores. And so for that reason, you're looking at a high risk of hyperpigmentation, worsening your inner thighs.
Yeah.
So that would not be a good idea. I think for in-office procedures, something like a very light chemical peel is acceptable, or a Diamond Glow facial, which has a brightening serum that can help smooth the area and lighten the area. It also does microdermabrasion. But for more detail on hyperpigmentation in the inner thighs, which is so common and has so many different causes, watch this video. I go into so much detail on it. Because it is a very common concern.
Yes.
And that's something else that could get worse in the summer, actually. Yeah. There's a lot of causes for it.
But there are products, maybe.
Yeah, so you could do products, and I talk about it in the video, but just, quick, you can use like a glycolic salicylic acid. Also, Dermabright pads are awesome because they just have really gentle exfoliants. You want to be careful in this area, again, especially if it's a fold. But Dermabright pads work really well at lightening the skin.
They're my favorite.
Yeah. So, but watch the video. I love all the tips in there.
Our last question for today is from Anna, and she says, "Hi, Dr. Azi. I am 9 months pregnant, and I have dark patches on my neck, my armpits, and my inner thighs as well. Can you please give advice on how I get rid of dark patches?"
9 months, girl. Yes, you're. Yeah, very popular.
Love it.
9 months. You're almost there.
You're almost to the finish line.
Oh my gosh. I feel like the last 3 weeks of pregnancy is so hard. You're just like.
You're so uncomfortable.
You're just ready. You're like, just get it out.
Yes.
So it sounds like what she's describing is acanthosis nigrans. And you guys may have heard about this condition. And that's when you get thickening and darkening of the skin, particularly around the neck. Underarms, you can get it actually in the groin or thigh area. You can get it like on the back of the hands. You can get in the middle of the chest. But the neck area is definitely an area that people see. And, people try to scrub at it thinking that they can just scrub it away.
And that makes it worse.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's not effective. You can also see it, in other hormonal conditions like PCOS. You can see it in pregnancy. You can see it in diabetes. So first thing is, make sure that you have a medical evaluation to make sure it's not like anything underlying. But with this sort of condition, you have hyperpigmentation, but you also have skin thickening. So for skin thickening, you can use exfoliants. You can use urea, which is an ingredient that's found in some Eucerin products. There's one called Roughness Relief. You can get just urea cream. I've seen it on Amazon for, less than 20% concentration. So what that does is it sort of dissolves and thins out the surface of the skin. Yeah, the thickness of the, that layer that's building up in this condition. And then you can use skin lighteners. So like kojic acid, vitamin C, arbutin, azelaic acid, hydroquinone, all of these help lighten hyperpigmentation. Yes. So sometimes you need both, but I like Dermabright pads because it does do some exfoliation and it's not as, as aggressive or as strong of a product like a glycolic acid or salicylic acid. So that's good for like folds. Urea and lactic acid is also great for skin folds. Like if you have it under the arms in the groin area, or even the neck skin can be, thinner and delicate. So it's much more likely to react. And remember, if you get any type of reaction, it leads to darkening. So hyperpigmentation always follows irritation. Mm-hmm. So remember that. If you're getting irritation from any of these products that you're using to lighten, like I see on the internet, I see people using like lemon to like lighten the skin. I'm like, girl, you're going to get a burn. No, that's going to cause more problems. So it's, again, a very delicate area. And if you guys watch the inner thighs video, I do talk about all the different things that you can use. But I would say, Dermabright pads, you can get Clarify pads have glycolic and salicylic acid, lactic acid, urea products will help kind of thin out that thicker skin and lighten the discoloration. And sunscreen, we forgot that.
Oh,
sunscreen.
Yeah, the most important thing.
Yeah, and vitamin C, azelaic acid.
Yeah.
So, well, anything else?
I think that's all for today.
Thanks, guys, for sending us your questions. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram at More Than a Pretty Face Podcast. and send us some DMs. We love to answer them on the podcast.
Yes.
And if you're watching this or you are listening to this, take a screenshot, post it to your Instagram stories. I'd love to hear from you. Tag me at Skin by Dr. Azi. Till next time.
Bye.